Welcome to Beards and Buckets. My name is Teebs.
I'm Mike.
And welcome back. We released the trailer and we're here again. So
Can't get rid of us, actually.
How's it going, Mike? You still recovering from the Shrek rave last weekend?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that was pretty solid.
Yeah.
There's nothing like going out, group of friends, and just having a dude in a full Shrek costume, just getting down.
And he kept dancing, and this dude was gonna pin me against the wall if he kept backing
seriously.
up. I was about to throw hands, dude. I was about to beat Shrek down.
It was his swamp. He had no regards for who was around him.
He made sure it was known that it was his motherfucking swamp.
Yeah, the second that guy went to the bathroom, we were all just like, yes, space. That was so fun, though.
So yeah, welcome back. That's a little bit of a dive into our personal lives. That was an interesting night. I didn't really know what to expect with an event like that. You know, and I had fun. I mean, I think that I liked the music choice and everything. The vibes were overall good.
DJ was pretty good.
Mikey D here got pretty lit. So I mean, you know,
that was a good time.
But we wanted to dive into some more topics for our first set of topics. The first one, I know we're kind of late to the party with All-Star Weekend.
We are.
But I figured we should still give our opinions on it and kind of what we witnessed. And overall, All-Star Weekend, I personally think has become a bit of a joke. And that's kind of how the players treat it. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I will say it has had its moments over the past however many years. I mean, I don't know how long you've been focused on watching, but I know for me it was kind of from around 2012, 2013. And really it was sort of it felt like it was kind of laid back, but they were still taking it kind of seriously until about 2018 or so.
I agree.
Then it really sort of fell off cliff. And then 2020, they took it seriously because Kobe, and they wanted to tribute him.
That year was actually fun.
Yeah, that year was really good. It
Yeah.
was competitive. They had the score system. Was it still East-West, or was that the first year of captains?
That was still East-West, I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they were very competitive that year. I remember, I think it was LeBron hitting the game winner in there. But then
Final score 250 to 245.
Something crazy like that. And then it got to the point where they weren't even treating it seriously. Tatum had 55 points and an all-star game MVP, but no one was guarding him all game, and he was just doing whatever he wanted. It wasn't even street ball level of competitiveness. It was just sort of we're not even trying.
Right.
Where this year, I will say, the games had a bit more effort. I didn't love that the Rising Stars were taking place in this tournament. I think the format was what was off.
Yes, absolutely.
And then Kevin Hart, man.
It was just listen, I love Kevin Hart. Don't get me wrong. Kevin Hart's one of my favorite human beings. He is a hilarious dude, but it felt like the Kevin Hart show. I don't know why. He was he took over that shit, which is kind of what Kevin Hart does.
Yeah.
But not in that setting. I didn't feel like it was appropriate. You know
right.
what I mean?
It was we want you guys to take this seriously.
Yeah.
Let's have a comedian interject.
While the fucking game is going on. So these guys are firing up shots. He's oh, I know Cade ain't hitting that shit. You know, fucking, you think he's gonna hit it when you're roasting him?
Yeah. And I'm just dude. And he's Shaq, you look like a...
That's crazy. I do love the banter between Shaq and Kevin Hart, because he's here and he's here, literally. You know what I mean? So it's great. But I will say my biggest beef with the new All-Star Game format is nobody can break any records now.
Yeah.
If you only go to 40, you can't break a single All-Star Game record. Literally. I don't think you could.
I agree. I do think I think the biggest overall issue, and they've tried to address it with all these different formats and everything is just getting the players to compete.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's really just, I understand it's like, it's supposed to be pinnacle of the sport. You work all year, you get this all-star. It's supposed to mean something to the players, and it does mean something to the players, but like, they worked for it. Getting on the all-star team is the accomplishment. The actual game is sort of like the reward for that for them. But like LeBron, for example, didn't play, even though he probably could have.
That speaks volumes. It speaks volumes.
It does, but it's like, if I'm LeBron, I'm 40. Why am I giving my full effort in this game where I have a chance to maybe get hurt? If I'm nursing something small, why would I risk getting injured in an exhibition game
in the middle of February?
With
no compensation whatsoever for winning.
Like, so I think the biggest issue that's really like at hand is that there isn't any real incentives for the players to play hard in these games.
If you give every single player on the winning team 100 bands for winning, and them motherfuckers will start playing defense, let me tell you.
Exactly. I mean, I personally, like, I think you could even make it higher than that.
Yes, for the NBA's got the money. Like,
right. Like, for a guy like Wemby, it's like 100K would be like, oh, cool. You know, he's on a rookie scale deal. But like, LeBron's a fucking billionaire.
he doesn't need that shit.
Like, he doesn't need the 100K. It's different with the in-season tournament where they offer the 250 to every player because it's like, there are guys on that team who make less than 250 in a year.
Mm.
And so it's like, if you go and you win that, some guy's getting a year's salary. Where I think like, and obviously this is a little extreme, and it's like, these guys have money. It's like, I think you need like 500K or like $1 million per player to actually get them to either that, or you need it to have season repercussions.
Yeah.
So if you say it's going to be East-West, we're going to go back to that. And we are going to have this decide home court in the finals.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
And you have both conferences competing for that. Any dude on either of those teams who's on a contender is going to be playing their ass off because it actually means something.
Exactly.
But that could be a little too far, but it would accomplish the goal of getting the players to play.
Yeah, I think it scratched the surface with playing defense, because I did notice when I was watching this that the games got to be like, 35-32, and all of a sudden they're playing a little bit of defense because, they're getting close to the goal, but It was still kind of a joke. So I think the NBA started to go in the right direction with getting these guys to actually care about it, but for like a 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing too, is setting it up as a tournament the way they did sort of made it so that the first two games were going to be more competitive than the final. Because by the time you get to the final, and I understand there's breaks and stuff in between.
Yeah.
But it's like, these guys just played a full game before this and put in effort before it. Mm-hmm. Like the Rising Stars, it was them versus the OGs, right? In the first game?
Yes.
And that game was competitive. That was a fun game to watch. But they just put their effort into that. I'm not going to be expecting them to go full throttle in the second game where they just had to play a full game before it.
Right. I will say, like, the young guys just being happy to be there were hooping. Like, Dalton Connect was going fucking crazy.
Dalton Connect was having a nice game.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Because he's just happy to be there. He's a young guy. He's got his whole future ahead of him. So, like, to be surrounded by the guys they grew up watching, like, they're going to care a little bit. You know what I mean? But these OGs don't give a flying fuck. Like, it's like...
And I'll say, too, going with the young guys, Stephon Castle just had a nice weekend in general.
Dude, I love Stephon Castle, man. He is fun to watch.
He is. He's exciting. He's got the athleticism. You can tell he's a smart player, too, when he's playing. So I think, like, we know of him, but people who are a bit more casual with the game probably aren't as aware of him. I think he made a little name for himself.
Absolutely.
hopefully success continues for him going forward.
I agree. So a little bit more about All-Star Weekend. I want to just go to each. We kind of covered the All-Star game, but let's go to specifically the skills challenge and 3-point contest.
Right.
My personal opinion is the skills challenge is fucking boring. It is a waste of time. I don't think anyone really cares about the skills challenge.
Yeah, I personally liked it better when it wasn't the teams.
Yeah, that was a weird way to do it.
One of my most memorable moments is when I want to say it was Tatum versus, was it Trae Young?
Yeah, when Tatum hit the half quarter.
Yeah. The half court shot. And it's when you have two guys racing side by side, trying to compete against each other in the skills competition, it inherently creates moments like that.
Yeah.
They aren't racing against a clock. They're actually racing against each other, and there's competition involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that lended itself better to exciting moments.
You got Chris Paul and Wemby trying to big brain the fucking competition.
I actually liked that so much.
It was smart. I don't care what anybody says. That was smart,
It
bro.
was so smart, especially if they asked ahead of time, too, and said, are we allowed to just intentionally miss the shots?
I heard it was Wemby's idea.
Yeah,
Chris Paul.
That's what I heard as well.
Everybody just looks to Chris Paul because he just has that kind of history of doing shit like that.
Here's the thing. From my understanding, I forget exactly who said it, but they said they didn't make valid shot attempts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason they were disqualified.
What is considered a valid shot attempt?
So, yeah, exactly. That was my thing. It's so you can intentionally miss all three shots.
Yeah.
But what, do they have to hit rim? Do they have to get within a certain vicinity?
Because you can airball one.
A miss
if you were
is
trying.
a miss is a miss. I can throw the ball a foot in front of me and say I shot it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I personally,
you could shoot a 3 without jumping.
Yeah,
it's hard, but you can do it.
And you looked at the time too. That they will save 15 fucking seconds over the other guys. I'm like, come on now.
It was such a big brain move.
It was.
That's why I was like, okay, no, they're about to fucking win with this strat.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I felt like everyone else was gonna do it, which is I think why they were like, nah, you can't do it, because then every other fucking team would have done it. It would have been really boring. It's like,
right. Well, that was the issue too, is making it so they don't have to make the shot.
Yeah.
If you just made the rule, it's like how they used to do the shooting star thing. They'd have the 3 different spots and then the half court.
Mm-hmm.
And the first person would have to hit the shot. And then it would go to the next person. They'd have to hit the shot. And it was just however long it took them to do it.
Yeah.
They had something good. They changed it to
it was unnecessary.
They changed it to the 1v1 scenario, which was still good. I liked it. I thought it was nice. And then they changed it again, made it worse again. It's if you got something that's working, you don't really have to keep trying to change it over and over.
Well, I hope they bring that format back of just the way it was. It was just it was way better that way, just 1v1. So
that or the shooting star thing. I thought it was cool that they had old legends taking shots and stuff, and they had one NBA player, one WNBA player, and then an NBA legend. I mean, especially now too, if you want to get WNBA players involved in those festivities where the league is starting to gain popularity, and you'll give it another platform to express itself too. I think it has potential.
The W is starting to gain popularity too, I think.
Damn right.
I think it's I've yet to go to a WNBA game, but
I've been to one.
I looked at tickets.
It was a good time.
Looked at tickets for
the one at TD,
Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, Connecticut Sun Fever, right?
Fever. Yeah. And I was like, nope, can't afford that. I was
that's going to be a double whammy of a game too, because so DeWanna Bonner, who was on the Sun,
Bonner
got so she actually just signed with the Fever. So now that game isn't only going to be Caitlin Clark playing in TD Garden against the Sun, but it's going to be DeWanna Bonner playing against her old team, which kind of blows because I just bought a DeWanna Bonner Sun jersey. Well, I didn't buy it. It was a Christmas gift, but to get the jersey and then immediately have the player leave the team, never a good feeling.
Yeah. Like Jabil Preppers.
that was disgusting. I get the jersey, and freaking 3 days later the dude's arrested. I'm like, come on.
Crazy luck, man.
That's the second Patriots player I've had their jersey and they've gotten arrested. I forget the other guy's name. Oh, man, it was a while back. I was a little kid. But, yeah, second time. I remember, like, I think I was going to Patriots Place for school or something.
Yeah.
And I was like 9-year-old me was crying because I'm like, I don't want to wear his jersey. He went to jail.
Hey, listen, I'm batting 1,000 with jersey choice too. Okay, I bought Mac Jones. And listen, right before his rookie season started, I was like, this guy's the fucking future of New England, man. And wow, one injury derailed this motherfucker.
Hey,
and
I got the Cam Newton Pats jersey, so I'm not far behind you. I will say I got the fake one off Alibaba. So it was only a $25 investment.
It's a $25 loss isn't bad.
Exactly.
No, I spent $120 on the last fucking Mac Jones in the store. So, I also, who was the other one too? Jay Crowder. I bought fucking Jay Crowder's jersey too.
Hey, that that's a piece of history.
Listen, the Jay Crowder, Celtics legend when you're down 30 fucking points. You know what I mean? He will hit every shot when you're down 30. Yeah. So,
hey, I mean, I got the double legend with the bad back, Jared Sullinger.
Fucking ate his ass out the league, bro.
Yeah, unfortunately. I miss that guy.
Yeah. I think you might be the only one. I'm going to be honest. I think you're the only person to ever say that. So, Sully, if you're watching this, shout out to you, man.
If you're watching this, come on to the show, please. I'd love to have you, man.
Yeah, man.
Bring a signed jersey. It'll be the biggest moment of my life.
Into our beautiful studio that is also my bedroom.
Yeah.
So, this is where the magic happens. Anyways.
It's like Uncle Drew. It's like, this is the living room, and this is the boom boom.
The boom boom room.
It's just the back of the frame.
No shoes in the boom boom.
Yeah, no shoes in the boom boom. Shout out to Uncle Drew. He's actually been hooping.
Yeah.
He's been playing really well as of late. To sort of get back on track though with All-Star stuff.
Yeah, let's go to the 3-point contest. I think we don't have to go too deep in detail in the 3-point contest. I think the 3-point contest has overtaken the dunk contest low key. Like in terms of like fun. I enjoy the 3-point contest a lot. And like it was weird. It felt wrong to watch one without Steph Curry, but that's just the point we're getting to.
It just felt weird to watch one when the guys were having an off shooting.
They're bricking everything, bro.
I mean, that's the nature of the contest. It's like it's 3-point shooting. There's variance involved.
I petition they add a half court shot, at least one.
I think it would be cool if they had one.
You had like 10 seconds, so they have time to shoot it. You know what I mean?
I think you do the whole rack situation, and then you have that
at the end.
That be the last shot, yeah.
Yeah, so like it could be like 5 points.
Yep, I mean? That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like that would actually be cool. Like if you're down like 4 fucking points or something, and you get to the half court and you drill it, like dude, that would make it really fun.
I think that would be an interesting wrinkle to add to it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, like the dunk contest.
It's
like
Matt McClung's a goat.
Yeah, it's just I don't even.
Matt McClung is living off the dunk contest, bro.
He is.
He collects his paycheck every year.
He is. I mean, the actual quality of the dunks this year from 2 of the 4 participants were really good. I thought Stephon Castle had a really nice performance, like I was saying. He had a few really cool dunks.
Yep.
And then Mac obviously just did what Mac does and just dominated the contest. But it's really, and they tried a little bit, like, to get young guys coming in. Like, Buzelis has some potential, but, like, get guys that are dunkers, man.
Your reaction, dude, because like we watched this stuff together, and like your reaction when you were like, "How the fuck did Modest Buzelis get the dunk contest, bro?" He's athletic, he's young. Don't get me wrong, but why is he in the contest?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's way better dunkers in the league.
The man has a 31-inch vertical. They were showing his highlights before the contest, like his dunk highlights, and I'm like, yeah, they're like strong dunks, but none of these look all that physically impressive.
Yeah.
Like if I was a 6'11" dude, I could probably do some of these dunks.
Yeah, right, dude. I can't even touch rim, and I'm 6'3". Okay, like it's been like that my whole life.
And like, what was the other guy's name? AJ Green or something like that?
No, not AJ Green. Andre Jackson.
Andre Jackson.
AJ Green's the sharpshooter. That same team, but AJ Green's the sharpshooter on their team. So.
Oh, okay. What'd you say his name was again?
Andre Jackson.
Andre Jackson.
speaks volumes.
Yeah, this speaks volumes. I don't even remember the dude's name. But he looked athletic, and then he just couldn't hit a dunk to save his life.
He just looked scared. Like, he just, like, he was scared to be there. And, like, because I think he just got in his own head when he missed the first one.
Right.
He was like, fuck, now I have to make it. So then he kept missing the same dunk and the same dunk. And then he just kind of got one off. Pause. But
and it was like, with the dunk contest, too, it was like they changed it a few times over the years as well. But, like, the year they had stars in it, it was like, what year was it? It wasn't 2016, because that was the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, I want to say it was like 2014 or 2015, the year they made it teams. And instead of having like a traditional dunk contest, they had Paul George and John Wall in their primes in that contest. Mm-hmm. If they just ran it like a normal damn dunk contest, like, it would have been fine.
I'm still petitioning for my guy John Morant to get in the dunk contest.
Seriously.
That would be fucking awesome.
Like, I think that's another thing too, where the incentive matters. Like, if you give the star players enough incentive, they can make something more of it.
Mm-hmm.
And an idea I've had recently, shortly after All-Star Weekend, I thought of this. I was watching a couple of videos of people talking about different things, but I thought it would be cool. So you go back to the East-West format for All-Stars.
Yep.
And for the dunk contest and the three-point contest, instead of having the league invite people, you make the East and West All-Star teams choose players to represent their conference in the dunk contest and the three-point contest.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. We should get Adam Silver on the phone.
Yeah. So it's like...
I haven't heard that before.
If you got the West and you're like, all right, who are our guys? We're going to send Ja, Anthony Edwards, and freaking, like, I don't know. Like, you wouldn't send LeBron nowadays.
Yeah, but, like, I know what you mean. Yeah, like...
Yeah, and then, like, the East is like, okay, we'll throw, like, Giannis at you.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other guys. I don't know why I'm blanking on all-star players. but you get the gist.
Yeah,
it could create interesting competition there. And I think if you mix that with incentives, so if you said like you send your reps for the East, we'll send our reps for the West, and whoever wins the contest, whatever conference wins the contest, every player on that all-star team gets X amount of money. And you do that for the three-point contest too. You do that for the skills contest. And you have it really be an East versus West and say what half of the league is better. And so now it's not just about bragging rights, but it's also like you're giving them the incentive to. And you're forcing the star players to be in these things, and they're being chosen amongst their peers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you become an all-star, you get the honor, but you know you have to do this. And it creates competition, and they'll probably be thinking about it a bit more. And with something like the dunk contest, too, I'm kind of rambling right now.
Yeah,
but
bro is yapping.
Yeah, but with something like the dunk contest too, it'll probably make it more organic.
Yeah.
Because these players are showing up maybe not knowing that they'll be in the dunk contest, but they have a few normal dunks in their back pocket, like Stephon Castle sort of had natural dunks.
Yep. I think just to wrap up All-Star in general, I think everyone's sharing all their opinions, you know. All the fans of the game, everyone that loves the game like us is going to say 1,000 different ways that we can make it better. And let's be real, they're probably not going to listen to a fucking single one of us.
Hell no.
Like, you know what I mean? We have all these great ideas. You know what I mean? You can't work for the NBA and like listen to people. Like, I know we're small, like little guys, you know what I mean? But like bigger podcasts, bigger people that study the game and like, you know, you can't take into consideration some of these ideas. Like, there's some good stuff. Like people that actually enjoy the game, you know what I mean? Like listen to what they have to say. But
the best idea they've had for the All-Star game the past 5 years, or probably 5 at this point, was the freaking Starry Ball.
Yeah, no, seriously, the starry ball makes it like pretty interesting. It's honestly, to their extent, it's not even that hard of a shot to hit. Like if you're striping threes, like it's only a few more feet back.
If you're a 3-point shooter, you should be able to hit a deep three now and again.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on to the next segment of the podcast, I'm gonna pull up the standings right now.
I'll do the same on my.
And it's gonna get interesting with the East and the West. They're both being pretty competitive right now. I really think we could see like any potential winner, like in the top 3 of each conference. Like you never really know. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to look at the top 6, the guys that are currently not in the play-in, and kind of just say they're like their floor and their ceiling floor being the worst they could possibly do, and ceiling being what the best case scenario is for each team.
Okay.
I'll start off. Do you want to do like East and like we each take a conference? I think that'd be a bit weird.
Yeah.
You want the East or the West?
Which one are you on right now?
I'm currently on the East. You can take the West if you want.
I'm on the West. we'll take it. We'll take it.
All right. So I'll start off with the. We can start from 6 because I think those are probably the hardest ones to talk about. Yeah, like 1 is like fucking cat. You know what I mean? So I'll start with the 6. The Pistons are currently in the 6th seed for the playoffs. My personal opinion, from when I've watched them, I think they've looked great this year. Cade Cunningham is on the top of his game. It kills me to say this. Tobias Harris has looked pretty good because I have slandered that man's name over the years.
Tobias Harris over me?
Yeah, like
Jimmy.
The addition of Malik Beasley striping 4, 5, 6 threes a game. You know what I mean? Jalen Duren's coming into his game. Like it's a really exciting young team to watch. I think the floor of this team, again, they could fall to the play-in, but let's just assume the playoffs started today. I think the floor is they lose in the first round, and the ceiling is they're a second round exit. I think, you know what I mean. I think that's more than fair. You know what I mean? Like, but depending on who would they go against right now? They would go against they'd
go against the 3, right? So they'd be playing the Knicks.
The Knicks, yeah. So I think they'd be a first round exit. I think the Knicks would take them down.
I think their ceiling is first round exit and their floor is first round exit.
The Pistons haven't been in the playoffs in a while, so they would just be happy to be there. So but yeah.
Give it 3-4 years. I think their ceiling will be a lot higher. I think they can be a second round team, make a conference finals, maybe within the next 5 years. But right now, if they beat the Knicks, bro.
Dude,
oh man.
That's what I love about basketball. It really could happen, man. Listen, I don't trust a fucking thing anymore because of Jimmy Butler. Okay, I just don't. I don't trust a fucking series, a fucking game, nothing. I just can't, bro, after the play-in run.
As crazy as that would be, I just don't see it.
But yeah, I'll let you go with your 6.
So the LA Clippers.
Oh, that's a good one.
So I look at this team.
They got your guy James Harden.
They do. They got my favorite players. I will say this team is very interesting to me because I think they have the potential to be a lot better than a 6th seed.
Yep.
The way things go right now, they would be playing against the Memphis Grizzlies, and although I don't think they would win, they've got Kawhi and they've got James Harden. they've got, and not to say Ja.
They got my guy Zuby Doo.
Yeah, they got Zuby Dooby Dooba. They got Storm and Norman.
He's having the best year of his career.
He is. Yeah. He's having a great year this year, and I would not at all be shocked to see them in the second round. I think their floor is either a competitive first round series, so 6-7 games, or a second round appearance.
Yeah.
And their ceiling,
I'm going to go conference finals. As crazy as that sounds.
I think their ceiling is, like you said, a conference finals appearance or
they just got the
a very competitive second round series.
Yeah.
Depending on who they play against. I think they are a team that, out of really anyone on this list, either conference, I think the Clippers are most primed to overperform their current position.
Yep.
But I would love to see them make a conference finals. It would be fun to watch my man James Harden cook.
especially as he's getting later in his career. You know, it's like
him and Kawhi both really aren't going to get too many more shots at this.
Yep.
So I'd personally like to see it work out for them. I'd buy another couple bottles of the James Harden wine and let it pour.
Let it pour.
If he gets them to a conference final.
Let him cook.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my number 5, which is the Indiana Pacers. And man, watching these guys, last year they were the fucking insane offense. Like it was so. This year has been so fucking inconsistent, and it drives me crazy. Like I refuse to bet on the Pacers. I just can't do it because they will fucking one game they will beat like the fucking I'm throwing a team out like the Cavs or the Celtics or something, and then the next fucking game they'll fucking lose to the Nets or something. Like without their best players. Like the Pacers have they have this great potential to be such a really good team. I mean, they made the conference finals last year. Right. You know what I mean? And I still don't think they would have beaten us fully healthy. Anyone who says they do is fucking in denial. But
I will say they did give the Celtics probably the most competitive series they got, including the finals. Oh, I think the Pacers played us.
Yeah,
I mean, there goes my Celtics bias.
I was gonna say, throwing it out there we didn't even clarify. We are Celtics fans.
Yeah, we've been
Celtics fans for like 15 years, by the way. So we're not fucking bandwagons. Like, dude, listen, I lived through Jeff Green. Okay, I'm an unk. Like, dude,
I watched prime Jared Sullinger and Vitor Favorani, cooking together. Yeah. So Chris Humphries as well.
Oh God, Kardashian, the fucking curse, man. Hey, dude.
But oh man, what was I saying? So they I think they played the Celtics even more competitively than the Mavericks did. I thought
absolutely.
Dude,
we almost lost the first fucking game because I injured him hard.
Every single game of that series felt like we could have lost. Like the Celtics, it was reasonable that the Celtics could have lost every single one of those games.
Yeah,
they could have been swept. And I would have been like, fuck, they massively underperformed.
Dude.
But the Pacers played a hell of a series. And
if the Celtics didn't win last year, bro, I don't know what I would have done. Like, because
they had all the tools they needed.
Everything. They had the literal perfect team. Like, I don't know how else you could make that team better.
Yeah. But I haven't watched too much Indiana this year.
Me either. I have a small sample size, but like I said, it's a very inconsistent basketball team, which is why they're the 5 seed. My who would they play in the first round? They would have Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say they couldn't beat Milwaukee.
I think they could.
Especially when they're coached by Doc Rivers, but that's a whole nother conversation for another time.
Yeah, the Doc Darvin duo.
Fucking
salute.
Darvin Ham, the fucking greatest in-season tournament coach of all time. But, so I'll just wrap it up. I'll say the Pacers, I'm going to give them their floor of, first round exit or, again, and like if they put it together, they could make the conference finals. They could. They did it last year. They have relatively the same team.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, they'd have to go through either Boston or Cleveland to do that. I don't really see them beating either.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I think second round's
fair. I definitely.
Yeah. I could definitely see that happening for them.
Mm-hmm. All right, you got your number 4?
You mean my 5?
Oh, you do your 5.
Yeah. So we got the Houston Rockets, the young Houston Rockets at number 5. Coached by Ime Udoka.
I didn't realize they slipped out of the 5 seed. I forgot how competitive the West is this year.
Well, the Lakers have been on a tear recently.
Oh, yeah.
They've been cooking pretty much everyone.
Especially Nico Harrison.
Yeah. Oh, man. Just generational talent falls into your lap.
Hey, he said, listen, according to Nico Harrison, they are now built to win. And in the future.
So
they weren't before. So the team that made the finals last year wasn't built to win.
Yeah, wasn't built to win in the future or now, apparently. But now that they have Anthony Davis and his, sprain his cock? I forgot.
He fucking did. He literally did the SpongeBob thing. He stepped on the floor and went, my leg!
I thought he got kneed in the nuts. Like, when it happened.
It didn't look like much
time.
at first. It's
it's like he pulled something in his groin, but it was, they said it was like abdominal or something.
He just made a glass, but
yeah, it was like, and he was on a tear that game too. He was cooking. He had like 26 and 10 in like the first half.
Mm.
And then I turned on the TV, and you guys can blame me. The second I start watching is when he gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But what a brutal trade! Like that would just be like if in 2 years, like the seas are starting to like fall off a little bit of a cliff.
Yep.
And San Antonio comes up to us and says, "You know what? We don't like this Wemby kid. We'll trade you to him for Jaylen Brown." Like, it's just like, come on.
Just like, okay.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, actually.
Would you do that trade? It's never gonna happen.
Oh, I would do it.
I would do it?
I would immediately do it. Like, I love Jaylen Brown, but like, that's fucking Wembanyama. That's Hector Banana Bread. You can't just pass up.
I think I'm too biased against Jaylen Brown. You know what I mean? I guess from an unbiased point of view, yes, Wemby's a generational talent. I would have to do it.
Wemby's got GOAT potential. And people were arguing like, and I still don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. He's maybe far enough along now that it won't happen. But like people were talking like that with Luka too.
Yeah.
Saying he had GOAT potential. I mean, especially now he's got LeBron on his team.
Yeah.
I don't see why he couldn't have a career with
he's got to get an MVP or two and a couple of rings before we start talking about that. But
we're getting a little off topic though with the
Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets. They are very exciting. They've got a lot of good young pieces. Udoka, I mean, obviously we've seen what he was able to do for the Celtics.
Oh, we really got to know what he was able to do, if you know what I mean. But
yeah, we actually sent him out for that reason.
That's why homie lost his job. But
yeah, but I mean, he's an incredible coach. He has those guys playing really hard. Yep. I think Amen Thompson next few years is going to be really scary. Depends on what they do, how they're going to build the team around them. I've heard they're kind of in the market for Kevin Durant. I don't know if they're going to try and get him or not. But this year, as things go,
Alpe's looked great too, and
he has.
Dillon Brooks can give you a good game. Freddie Van Buckets, you know.
I think he's hurt right now.
Yeah.
He was looking good for them.
Yep.
If they had to play the Lakers right now, I'm not confident they're going to beat LA.
No, absolutely. I think it just that series would boil down to lack of experience. That's all it is. You know, a team led by Braun compared to that team that hasn't been there before.
I think their floor is like, frankly, I think their floor, if the playoffs were set up the way they are today, which would be Lakers against them, the floor is they're getting swept. I mean, I think the games...
I could give them a game, maybe. But
maybe a game. I think all of the games would be competitive, but I wouldn't find it unreasonable at all if the Lakers swept them. Yeah. Their ceiling, in my eyes, is a second-round appearance.
That would take a lot, though.
They aren't getting to a conference finals if they have to beat Denver or OKC.
Yeah.
To get there. It's just unrealistic of them at this point. But I think they have the potential to make things exciting. They've got enough energy guys that are going to hustle and really make teams feel them on defense.
They give it 2-3 years, they'll be
a
really fun team to watch.
Right.
You know?
I mean, if like Sengun is really looking like baby Jokic at that point.
Seriously.
And they've got all those athletes around them, it'll be wraps, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
But I am optimistic about that team.
So my number 4 is the Milwaukee Bucks, and you know, I've slandered Doc Rivers' name so much over the years, even like as a Celtics coach, like winning the championship he won. I mean, dude, the team was fucking stacked. Like, I really don't think Doc Rivers is like an amazing coach. You know what I mean? And I don't know how he's had his job this long. Like, again, he's got Giannis, he's got Dame, he's got, you know, he had Middleton. I don't know why I almost said Middleton, but now Middleton's fucked. But in Washington, I mean,
it's got Kuzma now.
We got Kuzma, yeah, lucky guy. But because I kind of already touched on the Bucks a little bit. You know, you got Giannis. You know, you could make the argument on Giannis is the best fucking basketball player in the world. You know what I mean? So like, they could. You never know. I don't think they beat the Celtics by any means, and probably not the Cavs either. But you know,
Agreed.
Giannis has been to the finals. You know, he's the type of player, and Dame, you know, has got experience. He's a vet. I think they could make a miracle finals run. That's the ceiling. If they would get there, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Like, I think that's the ceiling. But
I agree.
floor, if they were to play who they Indy, I would say a minimum second round appearance.
I agree.
Minimum. I think that's a perfect way to describe them.
You know, it really takes one thing going wrong for any of the other teams. And it's like, you saw that with the Celtics this past year, where, they were clearly the best team in the league, and it felt like that all year.
Yeah.
But they did get luck on their side. I mean, they had freaking Lucky Leprechaun with them, taking out the kneecaps of the star player of every team that they had to face. So all it takes is something like that for the Bucks to make a miracle run. Like if they have to play against Boston to get to the conference finals, and God forbid something happens to Tatum or Brown, I wouldn't think it to be unrealistic at that point that they could beat us.
Yeah.
Or if they had to face the Cavs and something happens to a Donovan Mitchell or an Evan Mobley, they could beat either of those teams without one of their top two guys. So, you know, the Knicks, it seems like they fall apart every single year due to injury because Tibbs likes to run those guys 40 minutes a night. And so I don't think that's unrealistic at all.
No, I
think they could make a finals.
I think that's a good way to good place to put them. I surely don't think they'd win a finals.
I don't either.
Whoever comes out the West, I don't think they're beating. But your number 4 is get the Lakers.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Their ceiling to me is making the NBA Finals.
See, it's crazy. Like a few weeks ago, a month ago, whenever the Luka trade happened, it feels like it wasn't that long ago. It was like a few weeks, whatever, you know, like maybe a month-ish or something. But ever since that has happened, everyone's opinion of the Lakers has changed dramatically. It's like, you got two, you know, you could say generational talents because Bron fucking, you know, as we know, generational talent. I mean, he's still playing really well. You know, he's some of the best ball of his career still at fucking 40. Luka's a generational talent. You put those two guys together, you got to put him in the conversation for at least getting to the finals. Like, I mean, like,
you know, I thought even pre-Luka trade, the way JJ was coaching them, the way they looked, they had an outside shot of making the finals. Where now I look at it and yes, they don't have a big man. And so depending on who they play, that'll be tough.
Hey, I will not tolerate any Jackson Hayes slander here, okay?
I will say he's going to greatly benefit.
Yeah, no, he is. He has stepped into this role like that. He has like massive shoes to fill, and like I think he's starting to adapt a little bit. I was at a PlayStation party the other night. Though my friend Matt, who's also really like into basketball, he goes, "I don't know how the fuck Jackson Hayes is still in the league, bro." He's like, "I'm like, hey, give the guy a chance. Listen, all right, this is his time to adapt." You know, it's like
7-footer and you're athletic, you have a spot in the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Opinion. Like. I look at what he's doing, at least offensively, and what the potential is with guys like Luka and LeBron, and it sort of reminds me of those Houston Rockets with James Harden, when Harden would just operate pick and roll, and he's either getting to the basket or Capella's getting the lob.
Yeah,
and I think if Jackson Hayes can really put it together, there's no reason he can't do that type of thing with Luka and LeBron. But especially Luka, where there's not a single player in the league who can effectively guard Luka over the course of an entire game. Yeah. It's like he's gonna find a way to get what he wants.
That's true.
Whether he's speeding past you or, I mean, apparently he's so fat that Nico Harrison needed to ship him out.
Yeah.
But
imagine trading away a generational talent because homie likes to enjoy a fucking sticky bun once in a while.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
It's insane to even think about.
It's like, oh, you like to drink beer?
It's like, sorry, we can't.
You can't be a member of our team.
Sorry, no drinking in Texas. You know?
Yeah, you aren't one of the greats. Holy.
I just feel bad that he just bought a house, bro, before he fucking got traded. The poor guy, man.
But so my ceiling for them is making the finals.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think year one they're going to win.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
would say if it was a Celtics-Lakers finals, that would be...
I'd be scared, low-key.
That would be cinema.
Yeah.
And it would be Luka in the finals. Not only is it Lakers-Celtics, not only is he getting a rematch against the team that just took him out, but now he has even more added fuel of... This is a rivalry.
Low-key, I think we would lose.
Let me prove this motherfucker Nico wrong. And then you have LeBron towards the end of his career saying, this might be the last chance I get at a title.
Yep.
This could be like, it wouldn't be the most impactful title of his career, but it would probably be number 2 in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
If he were to win it this year against the Celtics in particular, it would... Really, I mean, he's already...
It's easily the second most impactful. I think so.
I mean, depending...
The Cleveland one's number 1.
Depending who you ask, it's like he's already either number 2 or number 1 all time. If he was to somehow get a championship against the Boston Celtics at age 40, even if he doesn't get a finals MVP, to me, that's putting him above. It's like...
Yeah.
But... I agree, though, that I would be scared of that team because I think they would be incredibly motivated. And unlike a team like the Thunder, who I'll save exactly what I think for later, but they're younger, a team like the Lakers has guys who've been on the stage before. Luka and LeBron have both been to finals.
It does help that Luka made the finals last year.
Yeah, really so does. They both have that experience. And it would make me more scared of them. Their floor, I don't see them realistically losing in the first round, so I'm going to say their floor is a second round exit.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless something totally goes awry.
I'm not going to sit here and say their floor is like the conference finals because that's insane.
Like, you know what I mean? Think that's too much of a stretch, but I think fairly competitive second round series. Barring any injuries, like, you know, if we make it to the playoffs and LeBron pulls his hamstring or some shit, they could lose in the first round.
Yep.
But the team is very star dependent, but their stars are so fucking good that I don't see them not making it to the series.
It's crazy that we're alive for this, to see LeBron and Luka on the same fucking basketball team. But, moving on to my number 3, and the picks are going to get a little easier now that we're getting...
Let's go Knicks!
Let's go Knicks! Since we fucking chant, especially for Bo Nix. Shout out Bo Nix. The Knicks have looked... I mean, adding Cat was a W for them. Definitely.
It really was.
Josh Hart's looked great. Jalen Brunson can piss me off at times, but he still looked really good because Jalen Brunson can have a game where he gets like 8 fucking points and then have a game where he gets 40. And it's always when I bet on him, he gets 8 points. But the team has looked so good. They got your boy Deuce McBride on the team. They had Jericho Sims.
Yeah, they unfortunately traded.
I gotta tell y'all a story about, we went to opening night, banner night for the Celtics, and this son of a bitch had a full-on chub for Jericho Sims the whole time.
I was standing Jericho Sims all night.
We had this fucking crowd around us, and they were laughing. They thought it was the funniest thing, bro. You're like, let's go Jericho! And he kept me checking the fucking game. I was like, what is your fascination with Jericho Sims?
He's so fucking athletic, man. He's so athletic. Like I mentioned it earlier, if you're 7 feet tall, and he's like 6'9", 6'10", but if you're like anywhere in the realm of 7 feet, and you're that athletic, I'm pulling for you.
Yeah,
I believe that you can be a successful player in the NBA.
Size matters.
Damn right. There is no reason that Jericho Sims can't be a Clint Capella type player, a Derek Lively type player. He hasn't shown it yet, which sucks, but he has the tools. Like, he reminds me of Robert Williams early on in his career.
Yeah.
Robert Williams would get on the floor for the Celtics, and you could tell he had all the fucking tools to succeed, but he had the IQ of a walnut.
That's a good way to put it.
And so it was like, he would get out there and he just had no idea what he was doing. All you need is for them to be out there long enough that they can put it together and they can figure it out. And the athleticism is there. Mm-hmm. So I think the Bucks got a good one with him, and I really hope that he can put it together and have a nice, solid few years there.
Never in my life did I think we would go on a fucking tangent about Jericho Sims in the fucking show, but
so fucking
that'll probably happen a lot. We'll just go on tangents about like random players.
With the dunk contest too, he had a little bit of a stinker. I was pulling for him, back in that year when he tried to like, what was it, the thing with the paper?
I have to watch it again.
And tried to like grab a paper, some shit. Oh man, he failed so brutally.
Moving on from your boy Jericho Sims, but to say for the Knicks I think are pretty easy to predict. I think their floor is second round, and I think their ceiling, I don't see them going to the finals. I really don't. I
don't either.
I think it would take a lot. It would take the fucking house, like a whole team effort. Like, I don't know as a Celtics fan if I would be scared of them. I feel like we could definitely, I mean, we've owned them this year, you know what I mean? So I really wouldn't be afraid to verse them. The Cavs, I think, would have their number for sure as well. So those are the two teams that I think is going to be the conference finals. So I don't see the Knicks going past the conference finals.
They've been a tier below the top teams in the league all year.
Yeah.
Every time they've had to play a top team in the league, they've lost or lost convincingly.
Yep.
And as much as I like the Knicks as a team,
you got to beat the good teams, man.
To succeed, you got to beat the good teams. And right now, they don't really have the depth to do that, and they don't quite have enough star power to do that. I think they're one piece away, which is brutal because you went all in. You got Bridges, you got Anunoby, you got Karl Towns, and you were hoping that all this would come together.
Yep.
And it hasn't been bad. Like, they're 39-20. They're having a solid year, but you can just tell watching that it isn't a championship level. You'd need Towns and Brunson really playing the best basketball they've played probably in their career to even have a outside shot of making something like that happen.
And the playoffs are one of those things you just really never know. Like I said, like anything could happen in the playoffs. Everybody's focus kind of changes dramatically, and like their play is usually the best it can possibly be. So, like I said, I think their ceiling's conference finals, and I think their floor is like second round because who was it? They were going against the Pistons, right?
They're playing Detroit in the first round if things stay as they are.
Yeah, I really don't see the Knicks losing in the first round against anyone, really.
I agree.
So, yeah, I think that's a good way for them. But right,
number 3 in the West.
Oh, yeah, one of my favorite teams. Oh, the Celtics.
Memphis Grizzlies.
It also has arguably my favorite player, which is Ja Morant. So.
Yeah, he's very exciting. My issue is that he's been out, it feels like, half the year.
Did you say half the year or half his career? Because I think both would apply.
But he hasn't been there for them. If they can get to the playoffs, which they will, they're the 3 seed, but if they get to the playoffs and they have him consistently, I think they can make a conference finals.
This is a team, because the West is so competitive, this is a team that could literally be a top 3 team or slip to the fucking play-in. Like, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? To me, they're too young, and their star player hasn't proven anything. Yeah.
As much as I like them, I think they'd have to play a team like Denver or have to play a team like LA. Well, they matchup-wise, they might actually be at a little bit of an advantage because LA wouldn't have anyone for Edie, but
Zach EDP.
Yeah. But
I don't know why I call him that.
even against the Lakers, though, I don't think the Grizzlies would have a realistic shot. Right now, they'd have to play the Clippers, and I think there would even be a possibility that they could get upset in the first round by the Clippers.
Yeah.
So I'd say their floor would be hopefully a competitive first round series. If the Clippers came out and swept them, that would just be ugly.
No, listen, a fully healthy Memphis team is really good, man. I mean, Ja, Desmond, Jaren Jackson's been so good this year. Edey has been fantastic for him. I mean, he had a big role to fill as kind of a center. Especially with recently Brandon Clark hasn't been playing, who's been good. But yeah, it's a really fun team to watch. I love watching Memphis games.
Mm-hmm. To me, this is a flip of the Clippers, where I mentioned I thought the Clippers had the highest potential out of any team to overperform.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Mavericks have the highest potential out of any team to underperform.
You mean the Grizzlies?
Or the Grizzlies. Yeah. What team did I say?
Mavericks.
Like
the Mavericks are fucking underperforming.
The Mavericks are underperforming.
Actually, I mean, with no AD and with no Lively or anybody, I mean, you can't really underperform. Nobody's expecting you to do well.
Memphis has the highest potential out of any of these teams we're talking about to underperform. I think best case scenario for them, they could be in the conference finals, and worst case scenario, they're a first round exit. Yeah. It's like if the Clippers just out experience them, it would be brutal, but I wouldn't be super surprised.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw it with a team like the Timberwolves last year. These young teams with a confident star, they can come out and overperform. So it would be cool to see it happen.
Yeah.
And hopefully they do. But right now, I realistically sort of see them being a second round exit.
Yeah, I could agree, definitely.
So we're down to the final two. Which conference?
Down to the final two. I don't know why I'm looking up the standings. I know who the fuck they are. I'll go to my number 2, which is the Celtics, right? Yeah. I don't know why I swapped it in my head. I think I'm a little biased, but okay, I'm gonna say Cleveland, Boston. I got the Celtics on the brain.
We got Cleveston,
Boston. So for the Celtics, I think it's very easy. I don't have to spend much time on them. Ceiling championship, and then floor conference finals. I don't see. There's a world where we lose in like the second round. There's also a world where I drop kick a house plan if that happens. But yeah, I think it's very simple. I mean, we have relatively the same team from last year. They've done it before. They usually turn it on come playoff time. Like I think that's real easy. Floor, conference finals, ceiling, championship. So
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and then honestly, I'm gonna do the same for the Cavs. I'm just gonna get my number 1 out the way. The Cavs will look fantastic. We can talk a little bit about what we fucking witnessed last night with the Cavs. We started out 25-3 and ended up fucking losing. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown looked like the greatest duo of all time, and they still lost.
Well, because no one else on the team scored more than 6 points.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It was disgusting. Like there were people in the comments like, "Oh, Tatum took 37 shots." Hit 19.
Yeah, like
he shot over 50%.
Shot really well, and it's like honestly, I think we really missed Porzingis last night. Not to say Porzingis is like our massive difference maker, but like I think he would have had a half decent game when we really needed it. So
I agree. I mean, him or Holiday really.
Holiday too, yeah. Especially on the defensive end as well. Holiday for sure.
When you're missing 2 of your starting 5, it's gonna impact you regardless. And Donovan Mitchell said as much after that game. He's like, they didn't have 2 of their best guys. So.
I had to sit back and witness Sam Hauser get fucking absolutely cooked on every defensive possession by Donovan Mitchell.
I will say, and this is the world in which I see Cleveland making the finals.
Yeah.
Is if it's kind of a repeat of what we did against them last year, where Donovan Mitchell fucking cooks Al Horford.
Yeah.
Like, watching that.
Or Darius Garland.
Yeah, or Darius Garland. Like, they, in the playoff series against them last year, they just had Al on an island all series.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a few good moments, but Donovan Mitchell did whatever he wanted. And the Celtics, as good as they are, don't seem to have any type of answer for him whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the only thing that scares me as a Celtics fan, is that their best guy doesn't seem like we can do anything to stop him.
Yeah, playoffs are going to be interesting especially because we just split the season series. Right. I really don't want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, show any bias and be like, oh yeah, the fucking Celtics, are gonna go to the finals again. Like, no, I truly believe Cleveland can beat us in a 7-game series.
I do too. It's completely in the realm of possibility that Cleveland makes the NBA Finals.
That series is going 7 games. I don't care what anybody says.
I think so.
I think so.
I think it could go 6.
I think minimum 6.
Yeah.
There's no way. There is not a world where Boston or Cleveland only wins 1 game in the series. I think.
The only way, but Boston, if they win, it's going to be because they have more experience in that position.
Yeah.
That's really what I think of them going through the entirety of the playoffs and into the finals. So I guess I might as well bring the top 2 teams of the West into this now.
Yeah, they're easy to talk about. You know what I mean?
Denver, frankly, I think their ceiling is a conference finals this year. I don't see them beating Oklahoma City. They are more experienced. They just don't have the talent outside of Jokic. And the Thunder are so deep. If they lost, it would be tremendously disappointing.
This season for the Thunder is truly like championship or bust because the team is just so fucking good, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's championship or bust because they're so young.
They're so young, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I think like this is a really good year to win for them, though. I think they're in prime position to win.
I would agree. But the Thunder, I also think like their ceiling is a championship. I think their minimum is like the conference finals at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm tempted to say their floor is making the finals, and their ceiling,
I can agree with that.
Their ceiling is
really don't see anybody out west beating them in a series.
I think there is a very small outside chance that the Nuggets or the Lakers could beat them. So I'm gonna say conference finals floor. Although realistically, I don't think any team throughout the league has shown throughout the West has shown any evidence that they're going to beat the Thunder. But back to the Celtics, as I was saying, I think they're going to win out due sheerly to their experience. Yep. I think if the Celtics and the Thunder end up being the 2 teams in the finals, which I think is most people's expectation.
That's what I got.
I'd say it's either going to be Celtics Thunder or Cavs Thunder.
Both would be ridiculous.
Both would be really fun.
Honestly, as much as I love the Celtics, I think Cavs Thunder would be a way better series.
I agree. I think it would be a more interesting series as much as I obviously want the Celtics to be there. But if the Celtics make it against the Thunder, I think it'll be the opposite for the Celtics of the 2022 finals.
Yeah.
I think it'll be they've made it there. They've won it. They're looking to prove that they actually deserve that title, and I think they would out-experience the Thunder.
Especially with all the shit they've gotten within the last year of like, oh, they faced crippled teams in the playoffs last year and they won. It's like, come on, bro.
Tatum just had damn near a 50-point triple-double, and the next morning people were talking about how he's auraless.
Like, he is the most overhated player in basketball. I will never understand. Other than the fact that he says things, maybe they're a little cringe, but like
he says some cringy things every now and again.
He's not like a dick. He's like a chill guy. You know what I mean?
Like I forget who said it, but it's like in terms of a role model, if like neither of us have kids, but if you have kids and they're growing up and they say they want to be a professional basketball player, you'd hope they end up like Jayson Tatum.
Yeah.
You'd hope they show up to the media. They say what they're supposed to say. They got a huge, bright smile on their face. Mm-hmm. They're doing all the endorsement deals. They are one of the top players in the league, and they're doing it all the right way. Mm-hmm. Like, Tatum has consistently done the right thing and played the right way and just navigated the NBA the way you're supposed to navigate throughout his whole career.
Yeah.
I mean, except for that, like, second year with Kai on the team. and him and Kai were just hucking up horrible.
God, that is a year I burned from my brain, dude.
Tatum has gotten a lot better with his shot selection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides that slight blemish, he's done pretty much everything the way you'd want your star player to do it.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had any controversy. I think, like, literally the only controversy he's had, and it isn't even really controversy, it was sort of just more was the fact that he was a father so young and that people didn't really know he was until, like, oh, here's Deuce.
Yeah.
And people were like,
oh shit, he got a kid.
Yeah, you were like, oh, he has a kid and he's only 19. Like,
hey, he's still only 19.
Yeah, he's still only 19. But that's not even like controversial in my opinion. It's like, you're a millionaire. You got the means to take care of that kid, so do your thing.
Yeah.
But it's not someone like Ant where off the court, as much as I love Ant on the court and his personality's funny as fuck, like he had that whole situation. He apparently was like sending DMs to this porn star he got pregnant, like telling her to get an abortion and to like all that shit. And I mean, like, I don't pay any mind because I'm here to watch basketball. I don't really care as much about the players' personal lives, but like in terms of the role model sense, Jayson Tatum is a great like role model in my eyes for it coming up.
Moral of the episode: Jayson Tatum is everyone's dad.
Yeah, it's barbecue time.
He's certainly mine. It's my glorious king. I won't tolerate any slander. His sub does have bacon.
Hey, he just needs 3 more chips, and Draymond's sub won't have more rings than his sub. So
that sounds wild. Out of context, it's a wild metaphor. But so out of all the teams we just named, who would be pick from your conference? Who would be like your dark horse of a winner? So the non-obvious answer. Which should be like the Thunder.
So
you can say yours for the West. I'll say mine, but you can say.
I've got 2.
You got 2?
My realistic dark horse, and realistic is even a slight stretch. I think the Lakers are a dark horse to win it all. I think just like I've mentioned, the potential of that duo.
Mm-hmm.
I can't in good faith write them out 100% of any series just because of how talented they are. And then my less realistic, slightly more biased one is the Clippers. There is no realistic world in which this team wins a championship, but man, I'd fucking love to see James Harden win a championship.
It would be awesome for sure. Would you consider Denver a dark horse? I'd say more of a dim horse.
Yeah, like
because that was gonna be my pick because nobody's talking about Denver.
To me, I consider them a true contender.
Yeah,
I wouldn't find it shocking if they won it all. The dark horse to me is more of a you don't expect it and it happens.
Okay, that makes sense.
Where Denver, they're the number 2 team in the West right now.
Mm-hmm.
I expect them to make the conference finals, if not the finals. I mean, I just think I believe conference finals was my ceiling for them, or a finals appearance, but I'm thinking they're going to lose in the conference finals just because they really haven't had the depth outside of Jokic this year.
Yeah.
But they could get it done. They could.
Yeah, absolutely. The East, off the top of my head, I'm not saying the Knicks. I don't believe the Knicks can win the championship.
Let's go Knicks.
I really don't. I'm just gonna say the Bucks, because the Bucks are, nobody's expecting the Bucks to win the finals this year.
I agree,
but they are a team. Again, you have Dame, who's also one of my favorite players. Giannis, arguably the best player in the world.
He's won a title too.
And the reason
that experience.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he's been here before. Giannis is more experienced. He's a lot better of a player now than he was 4 years ago, and he was still really good 4 years ago. But The only thing for me and what makes them a sleeper pick is the fact that, again, they're coached by Doc Rivers, because Doc Rivers is cursed to not get out the fucking second round. But you never know, man. You never know. I mean, that'd be my pick for sure. Milwaukee could surprise everybody, but I don't think it'll happen. But
I would like to see them have to face Cleveland.
I know.
I think that would be a very fun series to watch. And I think you'd have either Cleveland stomps them.
Yep.
Or Giannis and Dame go Super Saiyan. And just, yeah. My name is Jaylen. I'm a super. Oh, man.
Classic video. Well, look, he sound like Shaq in the fucking Gold Bond remix. Body powder that you can spray.
Skin. I nurture my skin.
Do the Gold Bond tingle. I nurture my powder spray.
So as you were saying,
yeah, I think I pretty much covered it, but yeah. So that would be our floor and ceiling for all the quote unquote playoff contenders. A good way to wrap up this episode, and I think this is something we could definitely try to do every episode. This is something I've done a lot on my personal YouTube channel, which is blind ranking players, and we've already pre-selected positions. So I have power forward. I selected power forwards that you're gonna blind rank, and then
I've selected point guards that you're gonna blind rank.
Exactly. So, and these are a fun way to just see how the lists end up, because it's really hard to blind rank players. But
yeah, I think we either do this or hook up a hoop grid at the end.
Yeah, that's a good thing for another episode for sure.
You want to start, or you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah, I have selected power forwards for Mike. So his first one is Kevin Durant. Put him anywhere 1 to 5.
I'm gonna have to put him 2.
Okay. Your next one is Denny Avdia.
Denny Avdia.
It is crazy. You could get like superstars on these lists, or like just random curveballs.
I'll put Denny at 4.
Denny at 4? All right. Okay, I think you're doing well so far, because your next one's Giannis.
Giannis is 1.
Okay. Your next one is Santi Aldama. 5. And I think you did really well, because your last one is Pascal Siakam.
Pascal at 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you literally did that perfect.
We got Giannis, Cade, Siakam, Avdia, and Santi Aldama. Yeah.
That's literally perfect.
I think I just
big brained that.
I think I did that as well as I could do it. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. We are going to be starting with you, Jordan Poole.
God, I hate Jordan Poole. I'm sure Jordan Poole's a nice guy, but as a player, it pisses me off. Jordan Poole, I'm going to put him at 4.
At 4?
Yeah.
Okay. James Harden.
Wait. Oh, right. This is point guards. Why did I think it was like power forward? I was like, wait a minute. James Harden, I'm going to go. It's just all time gets to you. You know what I mean? So It's like, I'll put James Harden at 3.
At 3?
Yeah.
Okay. LaMelo Ball.
All right. Well, he's not going 5. I'll tell you right now. So, and I don't want to put. I'm going to go 2. So this is my 1 and my 5.
Okay. Jalen Brunson.
1. Listen, Jalen Brunson. You could consider Jalen Brunson a top 3-point guard.
Okay. Your number 5.
Oh God.
Is Peyton Pritchard.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I didn't fucking sell, dude. I was like, oh
yeah,
my God.
That's pretty solid.
I think we both did really well.
Yeah, you did really well.
Damn.
And I say that as I'm wearing a Peyton Pritchard shirt.
Pritch, please. Pritch better have my money. I tell y'all, Peyton Pritchard was making me mad money for a while, okay? Because for a while, he had that stretch where he kept getting 20-point games, and his odds were like plus 150 to get 20. It was
crazy.
So like, I was like, yeah, fucking just keep spamming fucking Peyton Pritchard, dude.
I know, real big investor. I won a fat 40 cents yesterday.
Yeah.
I realized the Celtics, if they score first, it's a 3. And so I just put 10 cents on them to hit a 3 to start the game.
Let's go.
And it hit. It hit. They lost the game, but I got a crisp I put 10 cents on Garrett Allen to start the game with a 2 as well, so I got a crisp 25 cents out of that shit.
Let's go.
Yeah, quarter richer. Can't complain.
I'll tell you right now, you know how you make bad money? Just every time the Sixers play, you scroll down the list, you look for our guy with the 2 first names, Mr. Paul George, and you bet the under.
It's crazy to me that his parents' names are Paul and Paulette. I absolutely love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, I think this pretty much wraps up our first episode.
That's a pretty solid first episode.
Yeah, we were certified yappers at times, I think, but it's fun to sit and talk about ball. But
hey, that's what it's about, right?
Yeah, make sure you guys. I don't really know how Spotify works too much yet, but leave a like. A comment if you can. Can you do that on Spotify?
I don't think you can comment on Spotify, but definitely like on Spotify.
Drop a follow.
Hit that follow button or whatever the case may be.
YouTube is definitely the prime place to leave some feedback and comments, and we'll most likely respond to everyone. So
hit that fucking bell, light the beam if you're from Sacramento or whatever the hell you're
one of the 2 Kings fans listening to this. Do you even know any Kings fans?
Oh no,
I've never met one. I don't think they exist. It's like pigeons. I don't.
Actually, no. Pigeons. No, I did. I did meet one Kings fan.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Because I was I had a job interview in Milwaukee. And they brought in a bunch of different people, so it was if you had a chance at getting the job, they flew you to their headquarters in Milwaukee. And the first kid I talked to, in the group pre-interview, was from Sacramento.
Oh. So shout out the kid from Sacramento.
Yeah, I forget your name, man, but you're the only Kings fan I've ever met.
Well, I guess they exist.
They do exist.
Like I said, it's like baby pigeons. Have you ever seen one? No. I still. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Like we said, we're going to be trying doing this weekly. So, yeah.
See you. Till we meet again.
Till we meet again.